whatsoever. I just chose 5 that I read this year that I loved, and I've been having lots of like book ideas when it comes to videos. One of them is to do like tapping on books with pretty covers, like books with my favorite covers and stuff like that. But yeah, we'll see what the future holds. But I chose 5 because I figured it's like a solid number. Top 5. Well, it's really not top 5. There's just 5 of my favorite, but I chose 5 because I'm a little bit of a talker, and when it comes to books especially, so I think I'll probably ramble a little too much. But if you like this video, maybe I can do another one. So let's just start. The first book I have here is The Midnight Lie. The Midnight Lie. The Midnight Lie. The Midnight Lie. So, I actually read this pretty earlier in the year. I'm such a mood reader, and I really go through phases when I'm reading. And in the beginning of the year, I was totally in a fantasy phase. And I read this book. I remember I just randomly picked it up. Yeah, I had saw some stuff about it, but nothing really in particular. I picked it up, and I ended up loving it. I think I gave it 5 stars. If not, I gave it 4.5 stars, if anything. But I ended up loving this so much that there's a second book with this book. It's a duology, and I got the hardcovers because I really don't like this cover at all. And the book, the second book, it's called The Hollow Heart. Yeah, check my bookshelf. It's called The Hollow Heart. The second book has a really pretty edition. I forget who did the edition, but it has this really beautiful edition with like red sprayed edges. And before I even read that, I ordered the hardcovers of both of them. So if that doesn't tell you how obsessed I was, I don't know what does. So I'm just gonna read you the back of this. It also has been a while, so that's the noise happening. It also has been a while, so I kind of don't fully like not that I don't remember, but it's like not totally clear in my brain. So it says, where Niram lives, crime abounds, a harsh tribunal rules, and society's pleasures are reserved for the high kith. Life in the ward is grim and punishing. People of her low status are forbidden from sampling sweets or wearing colors. You either follow the rules or pay a tithe and suffer the consequences. Niram keeps her head down and a dangerous secret close to her chest. But then she encounters Sid, a rakish traveler from far away, who whispers rumors that the high kith possesses magic. Sid tempts Niram to seek that magic for herself, but to do that, Niram must surrender her old life. She must place her trust in this sly stranger who asks, above all, not to be trusted. So yeah, it basically like follows these 2 girls, and one of them is from a really sheltered place where she doesn't have any freedom, really. She's very misunderstanding of the world around her because of how sheltered she is. And this other girl who's a traveler comes into her life and encourages her to just like broaden her scope of thinking. And it goes from there. I do have to say, I loved this book way more better than the second book. The second book kind of flopped for me. It was still good, but it was more like, I think, a 3.5 or something like that. But yeah, there is also like a romance, so I enjoyed that as well. I love fantasy with romance. Romantasy, if you will. So we've got that, and I actually have the hardcover here as well, which, I mean, if you ask me, is clearly the superior one. The Midnight Light. Let's see if I can do tracing. This is also technically an adult. I'm really picky with the young adult though, so you know it's good. See if it has a special covers like great. So yes, that is the first one. I also tried to kind of just like do a little mix of genres here, so you will see that. You will certainly see that. Okay, the next one we have is The Night She Disappeared. The Night She Disappeared by Lisa Jewell. So I have read a number of Lisa Jewell books. I really like her. She writes like such good and easy to follow, like thriller, horror, mostly thriller, I'd say, history-ish. And it's all of her books are one of those books that, like, at the end of every chapter, you just need to keep going. Like, you can't help but want to keep going. And most of the time, or at least like a few times, definitely in this book, I could see like a plot twist coming. Like, you know, sometimes there'll be more than one, but I'll see at least one of them totally coming. But it doesn't even take away from the book at all, because it honestly just makes it that much more fun. And it's really, I feel like it's a rare outcome in my experience, because sometimes when that happens, it's like, oh my god, couldn't you have like gone for something else or have been more creative in this way? But hers makes sense, and it feels satisfying that you kind of like put it all together instead of it feeling, I don't know, instead of it cheapening it, if that makes any sense. Not to say, I guess, everything that has happened, but this one I definitely guess would happen. So, and this, as I was saying before, I've read, I think, 4 of her books, and this one is definitely my favorite. I've read, Then She Was Gone, I think that's what it's called, and Invisible Girl, which is definitely my least favorite. This one, and I swear I've read one other one. Watching You. Looking at my shelf. Watching You. So, what is this about? You're basically following a mother and a daughter. It switches timelines, past of the daughter, present of the mother, and present of one other character. And the daughter goes missing. So in the present timeline, she's missing. And she is a young mother. The daughter basically just started college, but she also just had a baby, and she's with this guy. He's like not the best, but she just had a baby with him, so it's like very complicated. It says, it's a beautiful summer night in a charming English suburb when 19-year-old Tallulah and Zach disappear after partying at the massive country estate of a new college friend. I forgot, her boyfriend also disappeared. 1 year after the case runs cold, a writer moves into a cottage on the edge of the woods that border the same estate where the couple disappeared. That's the other point of view. Known locally as the Dark Place, the dense forest is her favorite area for long walks, and it's on one such stroll that she stumbles upon a mysterious note that simply reads, "Dig here." Could this be a clue to the young couple's disappearance? And what exactly is buried under this haunted ground? With her signature rich, dark, and intricately twisted prose, Lisa Jewell has crafted another dazzling work of suspense that will keep you on the edge of your seat until the final page. So yeah, I loved this one so much. There was definitely like there was a central relationship that I found really, really interesting in this book. I think that's something Lisa Jewell also does really well, is make likable characters in thrillers. For me, like, I feel like in thrillers or mysteries, whatever, those are the kind of books that I can almost tune out the character. Like, if I don't like them, it's not that big of a deal. But like in a romance, I need to like the character, you know? But she makes the characters very like likable, or almost not even if they're not likable, just like fascinating. So yeah. I remember when reading this book, like when I was getting to the end, I like had literal real life anxiety because I was so they're in a series that follow a friend group, because the friend group makes it so much, I don't know, it just enhances the experience for me so much, especially when couples from past books that you really liked, or characters in general, are in the story as well, and you get to revisit them. It's so exciting. Yeah, that is book number 5. No, not number 5, number 3. What am I saying, y'all? Okay. Number 4. We've got All the Women in My Brain by Betty Gilpin. So I decided to pick this one because I kind of wanted to switch up, like, the genres of what I was picking. Have a little bit of variety. And this is actually more like a memoir. And it's written by Betty Gilpin. She's an actor. And I just absolutely love this. I loved it so much. It was written in just such a funky, eclectic way. And she was so honest and vulnerable about her experience in the entertainment industry and, you know, growing up in theater, and her parents were actors as well, so that was a very interesting part of the story, her story, and it also talked a lot about her life. She was in the TV show Glow on Netflix, if you know that show. So she talks about her life after Glow and how that changed her life so much, and then, you know, meeting like the love of her life, and how it really shifted her perspective on what she cared about in life, and it was just amazing. But it was also really funny and like not very serious at points, and it was just so like multi-dimensional. It was so good. And isn't this just an amazing title? All the Women in My Brain. All the Women in My Brain. Like, yeah, me too. Let's see. I'll read you just like a little bit of this. A little bit. You can get a taste for the writing style, okay? It goes, "Oh, hi. Take 6 long gulps of water, during which you're like, may I help you? My name is Betty. I have depression. I have passion. I can't say that word. We're gonna skip that sentence. And also, I have a brain full of women." Sorry guys, side note, the reason I can't say that word is because I don't think like YouTube will allow it, not because I want to censor her anyway. Oh my god. Okay. Let's hop from wild dissections of modern womanhood to boarding school musings to the glossy cringe of Hollywood. Let's laugh at my failures and then quietly hope with me for the dream. Whether that dream is love or liberation or enough IMDb credits to tase the demons snapping at my ankles, we won't know until the shit fanning end. So there's that. I feel like that really exemplifies how like out of the box her writing style is. It is super like genuinely quirky, and it's really fun. It's really fun. And there were a lot of quotes in this I really connected to as a person who grew up doing theater and is an actor. That I wasn't expecting. I literally knew nothing about this book going into it somehow. I had heard good things about it. Like, I didn't know anything about it, but I heard good things about it. And then during, you know, the hype of the Barbie movie, our Barbie summer we all experienced collectively, this was on a display at Barnes and Nobles, and I was like, oh my god, I've been wanting to read this book and I never see it. Like, I've never seen it around here, so I'll get it now. I'll get it now. this up, I thought it was gonna be backwards, that the girl from the past would go to the future, but I loved that it was the other way around. And like some of the like best moments were like when the girl from the present would like at first she had her phone with her, so you know, this girl from the past is getting to experience looking at a phone for the first time, and listening to modern music for the first time, and seeing what a picture is and stuff like that. And that was really, really cool. But also our girl from the present was very affected by living in the past and having all these things stripped from her. It was just really, really good. It just made me think a lot as well. I really don't like this cover, y'all. Like, I'm a hater and I don't like this at all. But I like this author a lot. I've read one book from this author before, and the book I read from this author before was a collab between her and her wife, and then I read another book by her wife and I loved it. Like, the first book I read by them was probably 4 stars. The second book I read by just her wife was like 5 stars easy, and then this was like 4.55 stars basically. Like, I literally loved it so much. I read it in 2 days. It was so good. It's so funny, like, we all know the saying, never judge a book by its cover. And it's so true, because some of my favorite books of all time have like the ugliest covers to me. Like, it just would not have been my first choice, but the content inside is incredible. Let me know if you're the same way. Like, I really do judge a book by its cover, but I'll still read it. That's the thing about me. I'll still read it, like, fully, but I can't help the initial judgment. Yeah, this had me like literally giggling and kicking my feet. Oh my god, it was so good. Let's read the back just for fun. It says, "What would you say," she whispers against my neck, "if you lived in my time instead of yours?" My fingers tangle in her hair. Every ounce of want and desire and love I have for this girl from the future filling me as I consider her question. I think of every smile from across the drawing room, and every conversation that has made me long for more, and every moment of jealousy that has made me wish I were Alexander, or Mr. Shepherd, or James. Every single moment of the last few weeks, that you've consumed me completely. I guess it really does give Pride and Prejudice vibes in that way. There is a whole